Welcome back to our channel. This recipe video is going to be a little bit different. We are dehydrating peaches we got at the Newport Farmers Market here in Oregon. Kathy is my boyfriend's mom, who when we were camping earlier this week, she made these dehydrated peaches that were absolutely insane, and so I asked her to show me how to do it. So it's a little bit different of a format we normally do. I am going to show you kind of just bird's eye view of us making dehydrated peaches. Our setup for the dehydrated peaches was really simple. We used the flat of peaches we got from the farmer's market, and there's two real ways of doing this. I chose to take the knife at first and just peel off the skin using the knife, and I would cut it up into at first rounds and then do little chunky pieces. Would take it over to the tray to dehydrate and spread them all out. Sometimes you'd get a peach that you could just peel the skin, but for the most part, cutting it all off, and nothing goes to waste. You gotta eat the core. This is what's so fun about this process. There's really no right or wrong way about cutting the peaches. It's whatever you prefer. I know in packages of dried fruit, I love when you get the larger pieces. So I really focused on trying to get as much of a round slice as I could, and then would work on removing the rest of the fruit from the seed. And again, we wouldn't waste anything. We would put all of the excess skin into the compost and the pits. So the other way that you can get the skin off of the peaches is by boiling them in water for just a few seconds. It doesn't take that long, and then we're just gonna peel the skin right off of the peaches and then slice it on up. Sometimes the skin is a little bit easier to peel off of the peaches than others. Sometimes it kind of crumbles off, and then I would run it under water in the sink to just get the rest of the skin off. Now, the skin is edible. You do not have to remove it. I just love the consistency and the texture of skinless dried fruit. However, it is your preference, just kind of like the size at which you cut the peaches into. All good. Once we have filled all the trays of the peaches into the dehydrator, they go. Now, Kathy has kept hers outside of the center of the house because it is a little bit noisy, and in her garage. Gotta help her with all the doors. And we are just going to leave it in here overnight. Now, you can do this for 24 hours. Again, we wanted to set the temperature a little bit higher. You can do it lower for longer, but we set it higher because we are just going to be doing these overnight and let them do their thing. The peaches have been dehydrating overnight, minimum like 12 hours, because you really want to dry out all the juices, but not too much. You still want them nice and soft. So they're in the garage. They have been about 12 hours, maybe longer. So we're gonna go check on them. And a quick tip, if you have a dehydrator, don't leave it in the center of your house because it's kind of noisy and you want it to be running for 12 up to 24 hours. So let's go check on them. Still going strong. And let's give them a peek. These are looking perfect. Once the peaches were done dehydrating, it was time to bag them up and store them in whatever airtight container you would like. We had a lot of extras, so we were giving them as gifts to friends. As you can see, the peaches are beautifully dehydrated. I loved cutting them in these rounds. They're just perfectly soft, but still have that little bit of sweetness, juiciness to them. That is like my favorite dried fruit texture. So these were in the dehydrator for about 12 hours. Again, Pegs and I have a different one. This one, it's like a bunch of these trays stacked, and the air flows through the bottom. Depending on what dehydrator you have, you might have to change the settings. But what a fun summer recipe for all of the excess of fruit and different things that you have lying around the house, especially the stone fruit, so you can continue eating this into the winter once peaches and nectarines and plums and all that are out of season. So I hope you enjoyed this recipe. I know it's a little different, but it's so fun getting to share these with you while I'm on the road traveling in different places and getting to learn different techniques from our friends. So if you liked this recipe, give it a thumbs up. It really helps us let us know what kind of things you like seeing from us. And if you don't subscribe, subscribe, because every Wednesday we are sharing new videos with you. And if you don't follow along, follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Curry Girls Kitchen, where we're constantly sharing day to day what we're up to. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you next week with another video.